LYNX Live. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. What's going on, y'all? I'm back with another hot episode. I'm feeling good. It's Gemini season. My birthday was a couple days ago. And look, I'm just kind of freestyling it tonight. Like, I got stuff that I want to talk about, stuff that I want to get into. But I mean, a lot of the stuff is coming off the top of my head. Anyway, real quick, LYNX Live. I'm your host, Dame LYNX. Remember, love yourself, no exceptions. And real quick, make sure you run on over to SoundCloud, run on over to YouTube, type in DAMELYNX, and make sure you hit subscribe. Check out all my content on my YouTube and SoundCloud. Share it with your friends. I'm still going, so just make sure y'all are locked in with me, okay? We're here to have a good time tonight. Gemini season is here. Look, I've been outside a little bit. I've been having some fun. You know what I mean? And I'm just like happy. You know, I feel good overall. Today it was a little bit of a sluggish day, but you know, I had to get this done. As far as like what I've been up to, I have been out. You know, I've been hanging out a little bit. I did celebrate my birthday just a tad. Overall, it was really just a low-key birthday. I'm really taking the time to reflect, get centered, and just kind of get myself on track. You know, once my birthday hits, it's like the middle of the year for me. Like today is June 1st. June is the 6th month of the year. That means we halfway through. So have you been working towards your goals? I mean, I've been trying. One of the biggest things this year is I've been wanting to keep my promises to myself. You heard it. Somebody dropped that gem on me earlier this year, and I was just like, wow. Because how often do we say we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we don't do it? We don't elevate ourselves for whatever reason, procrastination, fear, all of the above. I know I've experienced all of the above. I'm sure all of you have too. So anyway, happy birthday to me. I feel good. I'm looking good. Like, I mean, it was DC Pride last weekend, and I was feeling myself. But you know, one thing a Gemini gonna always do is pop out around their birthday looking good. And I'm always be looking good, you know? All right, so we do got some things to get into. We're going to definitely be keeping it PC. We always keep it pop culture around here. We got some reality. We're going to be getting into like just shit going on. And even today, it's a lot going on in the media. So I'm just going to get to whatever I can get to and talk about whatever I want to talk about today. Because it's my birthday. All right, so as far as what else I've been up to, so you know, I've been going to a lot of shows. I went and saw our girl, Coco Jones. I really thought she did a great job for this to be her first tour. She was at Echo Stage here in DC, and I personally have never been a fan of Echo Stage. I don't know why. I just don't like the venue. Do you know they made me throw my edibles out? I was over it. I really didn't like the acoustics of that. I wish she would have had it at Anthem, or if she would have went to the Fillmore. Fillmore is like my favorite venue, not just because it's really close to me, but it is a nice venue. And I thought Anthem was a great venue. But overall, I enjoy seeing Coco perform for her first tour. I really did like the set list. Towards the middle, I got a little bored. I don't know why. I enjoyed the set list. Of course, she sounded great. I liked her simple stage setup. I mean, she really focused a lot on the vocals. She did have two dancers. And my one critique about her with the dancers is I think that she should just let the dancers do her thing. I get that she wants to prove to us that she's, you know, this great musical talent, which she is. But I think that she was doing a little much by trying to keep up with all that choreography. But that's like my only real critique. Overall, Coco, you did an amazing job. You know, I will listen to you sing anything, okay? Now, speaking of the Fillmore, you know, I mentioned I love the Fillmore. Durand Bernarr was there. Durand put on an amazing show. It was everything I expected it to be. Knowing Durand as an artist and just following him ever since a long time ago when he was on that reality show on BET. I have always been a huge fan of Durand and his confidence and his artistry. And so his show did not disappoint. I went into it knowing I was going to have a great time, and I did. I think he did a really great job with his set list. Now, he did a little DJ set in the middle, which I enjoyed because I liked his DJ set on the One Bedroom YouTube party, like the house party that they do. But Durand did an excellent job. He looked great. He sounded great. The crowd loved him. It was a sold out show. Shout out to Durand. So I really did enjoy that. And then, like I told y'all, I was hanging out for DC Pride last weekend for Memorial Day. I went to Dre's Cookout, which is always a great time. I think this is my 3rd year attending, and I always have a great time. And when I tell you, if you looking, like if you trying to get you a little boo thing, Dre's Cookout is where you need to be, because it's like whatever, it's a buffet. Whatever it is that you into, whatever it is that you looking for, it's at the cookout, okay? It is definitely at the cookout. No, shout out to Kurt or Dre. The cookout was just epic as usual. Josh J was on the ones and twos. Sean Anthony was on the ones and twos. My Atlanta boys. So yeah, it was a good time. I had a really great time. But yeah, that was really pretty much the only thing that I did for Memorial Day weekend. So anyway, let's hop on into Music Bites a little bit. As far as new releases, I've still kind of been in my R&B bag. I haven't really heard a lot of releases that I've just been constantly playing over and over again. One new guy that I really like right now is Isaiah Falls. He gave us a project, Lover's Paradise Side A. I hadn't heard a lot about Isaiah Falls prior to this project, but ever since I have heard it, I have not been able to stop listening to it. Our girl Honey Baby, I love her song Touchin'. She dropped a project called Raw Honey. I listened to a couple of tracks from that. Honey Baby, you doing your thing. I was a little nervous because I wasn't liking a lot of the singles and things that she was putting out after Touchin', but I did like the stuff that I've heard on this project. So let me know what you think about Honey Baby. Who else? I feel like somebody else came out. Justine Skye dropped a new record with Kaytranada just the other day called Ooh La La. I'm happy to see Justine Skye out. She's one of my little sisters that I'm watching out for. She was in a bad contract at one point, but I think that she has a lot of talent. So seeing her link up with Kaytranada, and apparently she signed a new deal with Warner Brothers. So that's going to be exciting just to see what she does next, because I would hate to see, Justine not be successful when it comes to music, because I think she has an interesting voice. She has an interesting look. She's very beautiful. So Kaytranada brought this energy out of her that we really needed to see. So I want to see more of that from Justine. So, but that's really it for new releases. Let me know if I missed anything, what you guys are watching, what you guys are listening to, so I can check them out. Because, I've kind of been in my R&B bag. I'm still playing Coco Jones every day. I done added Durand Bernarr to the daily mix. Okay, so let's hop into some hot topics real quick. I was trying to make it was going to be a legal assistance required episode, and it kind of still is, because there's a lot going on in the courts right now. The Diddy trial began a couple weeks ago. We've been seeing that unfold. Shout out to Armand Wiggins, Big Gemini Energy. He has been following the case and giving us updates throughout the time. And so I've been kind of keeping up with what's going on through him. And there's a lot coming out in this case, and it's kind of like 50-50. So, Diddy's on a RICO for like sex trafficking, and some other type of organized situation. And his lawyers are trying to disprove that this was anything other than domestic abuse, the situation with him and Cassie. And I couldn't really, that first week testimony with Cassie was a lot. It was a lot on me. And so I couldn't really tap in and out. I was tapping in and out of what was going on with Cassie and Diddy. And she revealed a lot about their relationship that maybe a lot of us did not know. And now a lot of people are kind of criticizing Cassie. Diddy's defense is saying, hey, yes, they were in a domestic there was a lot of domestic abuse going on in their relationship, but that's not what he's on trial for. So they were trying to paint it like Cassie was willingly there and they had this on again, off again relationship. And so at that point, we're kind of wondering what's really going to happen with Diddy. Is he going to be charged with these things? We really don't know. You know what I'm saying? So then Kid Cudi also testified. I didn't know that Kid Cudi and Cassie had some form of a relationship. And Kid Cudi was saying that Diddy blew up his car. He also broke into his house at one point when he suspected him and Cassie having whatever they were having, locked his dog in the bathroom and opened up his Christmas gifts. We've also had other testimony from assistants saying different things that Diddy had them do, you know, different sexual acts that they were preparing for, like as far as purchasing baby oil, different stuff like that, how horrible Diddy was. That's one thing that's come out. And it's almost, you know, crazy for me to watch somebody that at one point I really looked up to just to see how horrible of a guy he is. So I'm not denying the monster that Diddy is that we did not know about. But what I will say is I don't know about how this case is going to turn out because there's no real evidence of like him sex trafficking and doing the things that he was charged for. You know, all it's showing us is that Diddy was a freak and Cassie was with it for a little while. And then once she stopped being with it, she kept doing it. So it was a lot. Also, our girl Dawn from Danity Kane, you know, she's worked with Diddy on a few different occasions. She took the stand as well to talk about things that she experienced and things that she saw that went on between Diddy and Cassie. And they ripped her little testimony apart. So interesting case. Interesting case. Everybody is tuned in. It's like the biggest hot topic right now. So it's supposed to go on for about 8 weeks. This week is either week 3 or week 4 going into this week. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, will Diddy beat this case? What's he's going to be charged with? Because there's a lot going on there. Anyway, another situation that just will not go away. Y'all know what I'm about to talk about. The Tory Lanez and Megan incident from about 3 years ago. You know, Tory's currently in jail serving time. He was charged with being a felon with a firearm and then something else like that. And I think that a lot of people think that his sentence is egregious. I'm not going to lie. Before I knew what the actual charges were, before I had a true understanding, I thought the sentence was a little long. I still kind of think it's a little long considering the basis of this whole night is just some drunk night that these 20-somethings got into. However, new evidence allegedly is being released proving that Tory did not shoot Megan. So who shot her then? They're saying it's Kelsey. You know, Kelsey has immunity. Kelsey was given immunity during her testimony. And it's been rumored this whole time that Kelsey was the one who shot Megan. And to me, I don't think Megan even know who shot her at this point. She's saying that it's Tory. Tory is doing the time for it. Oh, Tory was also stabbed 14 times when he was in jail. Now, look, regardless of what happened between Tory and Megan, I don't want anyone to get stabbed 14 times. So this new evidence that has been released is attempting to prove that Kelsey shot Megan. They even went and found some security guard that they could not find during the trial. But a lot of people are saying, well, Tory, if you didn't shoot Megan, why didn't you take the stand? And that's a good question, because if it's me and my life is on the line, I'm not going to prison. So if I didn't shoot somebody, you best believe I'm going to get up there on that stand. Okay? So anyway, Tory is determined to not let this Diddy case let y'all forget about what's going on with him. So this has all come out within the last couple weeks as well as the Diddy trial is going on. So I really want this Tory and Megan trial case situation to go away. I know Megan wants it to go away. I'm sure every time she hears it, it just re-triggers the whole situation for her because Megan was shot. Now, the question of who, that's a whole other conversation. but she was definitely shot. And I'm sure that she would just like to move on from this, because if I'm tired of hearing Megan's name associated with drama, I definitely know that Megan is tired of hearing it too. We all tired of hearing it, and it's overshadowing the music. So I don't know, but more to come on that. We waiting to see what's gonna happen. Tory has appealed a few times and nothing has worked, but he is determined to spend every dollar he got to get out of jail. So anyway, our boy Chris Brown got arrested in the UK. Now, you know, Chris Brown's going on tour. His tour is kicking off this week. The Breezy Bowl is supposed to be a really big tour for him. It's starting in the UK. Apparently, he reached London or somewhere. He touched down, allegedly, and they arrested him as soon as he got off the plane from an incident that happened a couple of years ago at a club. There was a bar fight, and someone got hit. I think the owner of the club, someone got hit with a bottle at the club. And so the minute Breezy touched down in the UK, they picked him up. So he was being held without bond. We didn't know what was going to happen. Now, there is an update. He has been released. So we'll see the outcome of that case. But man, my boy Chris can't never leave the house without getting in no trouble. He's about to embark on one of the biggest tours of his career. And there's always some negativity associated with everything that he does. I don't know, Chris, you gotta stay out of trouble. And I still need my Breezy Bowl tickets, because they're sold out like everywhere. So I need the date where Summer Walker's gonna be there. But prayers to Chris. Hopefully whatever's going on with this court case, it pans out for him and he's able to have a successful tour. You know what I'm saying? Because I love me some Chris Brown. 1111 is still in my rotation and probably will be forever. Let me know what you think. A couple other cases going on. Mary J. Blige was sued by Misa Hilton. You know, Misa Hilton is one of Diddy's baby mamas. So she's being sued by Misa Hilton over, there's an artist, Vito, that Mary's associated with. Apparently allegedly they dated a little bit. I'm not for sure about that, but Mary signed him and something happened with the album, and then Misa didn't get her cut. I don't know. I didn't look too much into what was going on, but I just know that Mary is over the drama. She was on stage saying she is tired of people messing with her. And a lot of people were kind of surprised about Misa Hilton suing her, but you know, business is business. So hopefully they'll work that out. We'll see. One thing people gonna do these days is sue you, so watch out. Make sure you handling your business, because they gonna sue you. You know, Mary's been through a lot. Okay, Chloe's sister Holly Bailey. You know, she has a baby with rapper DDG. Now, she filed a restraining order against DDG and has taken full custody of their son so that he's unable to see her. Now, I'm not sure what happened between the two of them, but Holly posted that she had a chipped tooth. So apparently they got into some type of situation, allegedly, but we don't know for sure. But these are two young adults. A lot of people got smoked for DDG. I don't know why. I don't know much about him, but we do love Holly. And so hopefully she's okay and they can work out, and then they can move to a space of being able to co-parent, because I don't think DDG is a bad father. And I also know that relationships are tough. You know, so I don't like to see these young couples really going through that. But more to come on that. It's been a little quiet there. Well, no, sorry. DDG got into it over the weekend with a fan, quote unquote, or somebody that ran up on him and called him doo-doo garbage. And so they ended up beating up this boy. So I'm sure that there'll be another charge coming soon for DDG. But thoughts and prayers to him and Holly. Hopefully they work things out. I don't want them to be in the public eye with all this negativity. Work it out, co-parent your child, and just move on, either separately. Well, separately at this point. Okay, so y'all know about Shannon Sharpe and the young girl. I'm not even gonna get into that. Soulja Boy was ordered to pay $4.25 million to his former assistant. Apparently, he was accused of abuse and sexual assault as well with the assistant. So he has to pay her $4.5 million. And I'm sure by now you have seen that Remy, Papoose, and Clarissa Shields will not take us out the group chat. Remy and Papoose are still in love with each other. I know what that energy is. And Remy is a Gemini. The only reason she taken to the internet to speak on it is because she still cares. So let me know what y'all think. Look, that's gonna be it for Music Bites. We got to get into some more music, and we'll be right back with some reality. So make sure you grab your drinks, all right?